Hello, it is Thursday evening. I am Ian. This is my cohort Joker, and
I'm a
it is
cohort now, huh?
yeah. Well, I mean, it's two of us, and until anybody else maybe shows up. So
It's the
yeah,
two of us until it isn't.
yeah, exactly. So we figured let's just go ahead and we'll turn it into a viewer Q&A, and we can kind of talk about you know uh this month in airsoft kind of thing. The original idea for tonight's episode was supposed to be who's the boss? Meeting the CEOs of Bad Blood 2025. Or maybe not. They might show. They might not. Who knows? That's okay. So let's how do I turn on the side scroll overlay? There we go. All right. So
That could be dangerous.
it could. It's not moderated, so please, don't kill us here. Have some fun. Go ahead, ask any questions you want. We're here to answer as best we can, and kind of talk about Bad Blood as a whole and what we want to see out of it this year and what we don't want to see out of it this year. So that being said, Joker, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. We just came back from Stonebreaker 11. That was a hell of a lot of fun. A lot of lessons learned in that one for a lot of people. So that was a great experience. I have new damages to fix on my truck now,
So
which is always fun.
as far as I understand, you were driving a technical for your event, right?
Correct. I was running the gun truck, the Green Machine, um, which it's a pickup truck, so you could do a lot in airsoft with just simply a pickup truck. If you could, as a technical, you just need to know
Yeah,
how to
you could.
appropriately go.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what kind of damage are you looking at?
New hole in the grill, cracked windshield. Wiener shot out my side view mirror, but he
Nice.
but a new side view mirror was delivered the very next day on Monday, so
So
that already got.
is this a street legal truck?
Oh yeah, it's my truck. It's the one you all see at the events and
People
all. Like,
usually take like beaters out to things like this, you
well,
know?
the truck is Rhino lined, right? And what I
Ooh, really?
learned. Oh yeah, I have Rhino line. That's bed liner all across my truck, so it takes BB strikes real well. I just happened to get hit with a Reaper round right in the windshield, and that was bad. So it was like, so um, I learned a lesson last time my windshield got cracked, and it wasn't even cracked because the airsoft disc got cracked. I'm just going to pay for it out of pocket because it's going to be cheaper than going through insurance. Because insurance might say, "Oh yeah, it gets replaced for free in Florida," except
Yeah, but
it's
this
your
wasn't
insurance.
exactly
Doesn't
normal
matter.
road.
It
Oh,
doesn't.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So because it's a safety and equipment thing, it's part of your coverage. But the problem is, it still shows up on your insurance as an accident
An
or something of
accident.
that nature. So yeah. Um, so it was there was definitely something to be learned at Stonebreaker this year, which I guess could translate over to Bad Blood, even though it's a different style of game, is adjusting for two main factors: leadership of your
Right.
respective team and how leadership disseminates information and treats their players, and making sure you have lunch with you.
Yeah.
Player attrition on green side was atrocious this year, and it's sort of the same thing that happens with Bad Blood. Even though we start at like 11 o'clock and we run to about what, 5 or 6?
Um, if we
Depends
aim
on the weather.
yeah, we aim for 5, but we usually, start to take body counts around 3:30 to see where people are at.
Yeah. So, right around that, it's right around lunch, dinner time, right in that little butter zone. So people start walking off the field and all that. Um, uh, who's asking that one?
I'm not really sure.
Oh, I guess that's with mine. They're
Yeah,
probably asking.
it's a paired user. That's you. Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably just trying to get me to pay for use or whatever.
Yeah.
Blacklist. Am I going to win all the raffles again this year? Look, man, when there's a charity thing going on and there's a raffle and you could buy tickets, the people that put the money in are the people that win. That's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
I think I did $350 last time.
it's worth it, you know?
Well, I mean, who benefited from that? You know?
Right, exactly. So let's go back to your 2 points from Stonebreaker. I can't quote you. My short-term memory is shot. It's late. What were you saying about what's a CO's job? Let's look at
So,
this from a I know you and I have both CO'd factions in other games. We've never
yeah.
CO'd Bad Blood. So as players,
Well, last
what do
year
you
I
see out of
was
your C
the de facto
Okay,
Marxist
de
leader.
facto, but
Yeah.
you got pressed into service as opposed to somebody who signed up to do it 3 months in advance and they did whatever kind of planning they did, right?
Yeah.
So, as a player not pressed into service, what do you expect to see from your CO?
So, but like I keep saying, Bad Blood's a different type of animal, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because really, I mean, it's a very simplistic game of to plan for if you really think about it. Because there's four large armies moving around a thing. There's no strategy to holding a position. Our job is to gather everything. The only
Right.
real planning you're trying to do is how do you ambush the enemy teams to get those CO stamps, right? That's like
Sure.
really, if you're trying to if you're playing the game to play the game to figure out what you're trying to do, that's the only real strategy you have to work around is like, what is our strategy going in? Are we going for all the stamps first, then going for CO kills? What is our goal here?
Right. Because Bad Blood, in all rights and purposes, is a scavenger hunt with pew pews.
Exactly. It is a ton of fun. Um, it's one of those types of games that you're going to get you're going to get your you're going to get your gun on real quick, right? You're going to get your pew pews going right off the bat. Um, and if you like a lot of trigger time, you're going to get a lot of trigger time. Because four large armies are constantly clashing into each other throughout the field, it's a really unique gameplay. It's one of the ones that I travel from Fort Lauderdale to New Milford every single year for, and that is not a short trip.
Sunny beaches, valley in the mountains.
Oddly enough, I bring the heat with me too, so it's like the heat follows every year, in
Oh,
the rain too. So it one of the things that happened, and I'm not trying to like really harp badly, was if you're in airsoft and you make a plan and you know expect the pen to go to shit, right? And I don't even think that's the right term. Sal said it on a stream last night. Sal from a Z Monster from Third Coast Airsoft. He goes, "It's only rigid plans go to shit, right? What you have to
right.
do is you have to adjust. If you have a flexible plan for an overall gameplay of what you're going to do, it could work and adjust after the first 15 minutes of game on."
Yeah.
Um, a lot of times I say you're planning for the first 15 and you're reacting for everything else. But as a leadership, if your company commanders and your leaders start getting mad at the player base for not seeing and envisioning your vision, um, instead of getting mad at the players, start questioning yourself. Ask yourself some key questions. Um, uh, am I effectively communicating what's going on? Do we have effective communication between command and the grunts? Is that
Right.
actually going on? Um, some teams do this very effectively, other teams do not. Marxist is very effective. Move or die. Either gonna
Yeah.
either gonna run up and die, or you're gonna take cover and die because your own team will shoot you if you do not move forward.
Yeah. Buck said it good last week when we were talking about prior Bad Bloods. And I was talking about, when I got started in my role. And he was like, oh, that was old Bad Blood. This is new Bad Blood. So thinking back to old Bad Blood, we would spend months planning this event, from a an officer, I'll call it officer point of view, and then basically expect 250 people who weren't privy to these conversations about planning to actually execute the plan. That's old Bad Blood. You can't do that. It doesn't work anymore. New Bad Blood this is the goal. This is kind of what I expect of you. Let's go. You know.
Hello, user. Sorry, I'm actually also streaming this on TikTok as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
somebody just said hello, so I was just identifying them real quick. So um, the what I keep saying, like the great thing about Bad Blood is, first off, the pound for pound, dollar for dollar that you're going to get in raffle is amazing because Evike hooks this event up something fierce,
Yeah.
and a lot of and that just makes it to go by itself. And you have essentially two different games. Saturday, possibly three if there's going to be a night game or not.
There is. There is.
Okay, so you have a night game. You'll have the Saturday day game, which is the main event where we're going around trying to collect these stamps. And then Sunday, we have about an hour and a half long infected or zombie game where, the patient zero is trying to infect as many people as you possibly can. And then Hope again goes to eliminate everybody.
Right. Yeah.
uh, so, hey, what's up, Bug? How you doing? Number one objective: see the whole field.
And
Hey, Matt.
that's a great objective, and that really kind of plays into this the heart of Bad Blood, where it's a mobile game. The whole point is to be moving and moving and moving and moving. It's may not necessarily cover every square footage of terrain. Now, if you want to be that guy, I'm all for it.
I'm not going in that valley.
Right. But like that is kind of the point, because anybody who's played Bad Blood more than once at EMR knows that, one, the samples are not in the same place every year. So
No,
if you've got a good memory and you know the field well, like I could walk that field with my eyes closed. That doesn't mean I know where the samples are, because they're gonna change every year. So you need to explore this terrain. You can't just say, okay, well, we know it's going to be at this building, so we're just going to rush there and we're just going to go get it. And we know it's going to be, by the helicopter thing, so we're just going to go get it. No, now it's definitely not going to be there, because the tribals are listening and they're not going to do that. They're not dumb. So, it's that is kind of the idea, is you want to be moving while taking fire and unleashing plastic and having a good time, but you don't want to get bogged down either. That was always a big problem. Was it's we call it I call it a scavenger hunt, but it's a timed scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
You've only got so many hours in the day to complete your objective, right? So as a CO or someone who's got the CO's ear, you need to be conscious of how long are you going to spend on an objective. Is it worth it at this point in the day to go for this objective? Or do I want to maybe, hey, let's let another team pick those guys off for a while. Let's go try something else, and maybe we'll revisit it.
Yeah, one of the key things I'll say, if Matt, if your objective is to see the whole field, there are two teams that you want to be a part of. You want to be part of Green or Marxist. Those two teams constantly march across the field. Deus Ex has been doing a good job of that in the last couple of games too, but
well, the problem with Deus Ex is if multicam gets dirty, you're no longer invisible.
You almost made me spit my drink. Yes.
Black shirts they're a wild card. They really are. You never know what you're going to get with black shirts.
It depends on who leads. If they actually have a good lead, like Cordella last time was a great choice. I think he was the CO last time, right?
No, it was Archimedes, Mark. But he kind of deferred to you and Steven to kind of mesh the two teams together.
Yeah, like I've been there every year since 2019. I'm with the Airsofties. We're green all the way, baby.
Oh,
then I'll be coming for you. Well, not necessarily coming for you, going for the objectives, because I'm going to be Marxist. One of the things that I always do is I join a team and I stick with the team, that color. So for Bad Blood, I'll never shift away from tan. Just like at a Third Coast event, I'm never switching away from green. You take the good with the bad, right? It's that. Bad Blood is a camaraderie game. It's also a meat grinder. I mean, because of the nature of the beast, the way EMR is, and depending on the numbers we get, if we get back up to, I think 2019 we're at 1,000, right?
I think counting the tribals, we breached 1,000. Yeah, because we got it. You got to.
That's a lot of bodies on the field.
That's a lot of bodies on the field. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not discounting anybody, by the way. The tribals are a gigantic pain in the ass, and I mean that literally and figuratively. So point being with leadership is you could have your platoons, your command structure, but this game is a simple game. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. Because, the commanders can send their teams out and they can do unit organization down to platoon level if you really want to. But if you're doing that and you have a game plan, and all of a sudden a monkey wrench throws into that because what the hell, Marxist is acting like or Green's acting like, or Black is acting like a chaos agent, and they're just disrupting everything. Adjust. Don't take it on your players, right? Don't take it on the people that are following you, because if you lose their respect, they're just gonna be like, deuces, we're gonna go shoot people. It's just the way things are. So that's like the key thing. Also, make sure that. How come I haven't heard that much about Bad Blood? I don't know, Brad. I mean, I talk about Bad Blood all the time. I mean, it is still like 3 months away, so that's going to start getting advertised a lot more. Usually, events get advertised 60 days in advance. So I mean, I expect over the next month, you're going to hear a lot more of it. Or you haven't heard me talking about Bad Blood. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, you talk about everything else, so why would it be any different?
I've been a little busy, Brad. Been a little busy.
Like you're right that Bad Blood is a simple game. It's not, even though it is objective heavy, I guess. Like, you've got two objectives. You've got collect samples, and you've got collect samples off of COs. I'm going to call those two different, objectives, right? Third objective, again, have fun and, see as much of the field as you can, explore the terrain, because that is what makes, at least I feel, Woods Airsoft, I guess we'll call it, like that's kind of the fun of it for me, is the experiencing all these different terrains and natural feature that you have to now take into account, because like Stonebreaker, that was at a site, right?
Yeah, that was at an old nuclear reclamation facility.
Right.
So you had a combination
anybody
of
who
woods.
studied the map, they know the building from an aerial point of view, and they might have an idea of what the insides are going to be like. It's not going to change. That is static. You know what I mean?
So let's interrupt this for 1 second, because Brad made a good point. We're taking advantage that people know what this stream is about and what Bad Blood is. So for somebody like Brad who hasn't heard that much about it, Operation Bad Blood is going to be it's June 25th, right?
June 27th through the 29th.
June 27th through the 29th at EMR Event Park in New Milford, Pennsylvania. It's an Evike sponsored event, so you can go to get your tickets at evike.com. I mean, if you want to be part of the cool kids, you just go ahead and be part of Marxist, multicams.
Whoa. I might be late to the party.
If you're late, you get insulted. That's just how
that's fine. That's fine. Just be good, Daddy.
There are 4 factions. You have Deus Ex, which is multi-glam. You have Marxist, which is the king of the fields in all tan or tan-based camos. You have Green's Army. Hey, look, my face is right there perfectly. You got the black shirts right there. So those are faction color specific. So, and essentially you have 4 factions. Plus, you also have tribals, which protect some of the different samples in area, and there's a thorn in your side when you go through. So it's a really fun, great game that you just come out, have a good time. The raffle is what you should go to. Tickets are only $60, right? Or 65, Ian?
60.
They're only $60 for a Friday night game. Saturday gameplay, usually we run from like 11 to 5 or 10:30 to 5, depends on weather and making sure everybody's out there and ready. And then Sunday, we have an infected zombie game that lasts about an hour and a half. The raffle on Saturday is extensive. Last year, there was, I think, over almost 30 different things that were raffled. I won half of them. Only because I paid for I paid for extra tickets because it's a charity event to help research for type 1 diabetes. So it's a really good, fun event. A lot of great people come out there from all over the Northeast. I come up, Wiener and I will be there up from Florida. It's going to be a fun time. And you don't want to miss it.
I mean,
So,
I got to deal with Wiener in person now. Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because he's definitely coming this time.
Good.
So I gotta make him. Oh, I get to make him wear solid tan.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
Doc, you're late to the party, pal.
Yes. A little bit, but I'm here.
Oh,
All right, so
So-
we can kind of get on track a little bit. Doc, what are you going to be doing this year with us?
Oh, what do you mean? Like
What's your role?
I am the CEO for Deus Ex or Deus Ex, however you want to pronounce it. Either is both appropriate.
the losers.
Yeah. All right. So today's episode was supposed to be, a meet and greet, and I got to reintroduce players to the COs because most of the COs from last year are coming back, which is great. So without giving away any game plan, which Joker and I just discussed, game plan for this is, go that way. There's your game plan.
Pretty much.
What do you want to see out of your team? Broad spectrum.
Sweep the leg, show no mercy. We're all gas, no break. Just maximum effort is always a good time. Be careful with the heat if it gets really hot. I've been in those environments. If it's raining, don't slip down the hill. The simple things. Like, more or less, work as a unit, work off one another, and don't be afraid to move forward. That's the biggest thing. Like there's essentially 200 of you. Move forward. That's the biggest thing, and stick together. Don't get lost.
Well, yeah, don't get lost, definitely. But I again, I don't want you to give away any kind of game plan you might have. So I don't know if you're gonna assign, scouts, and you're going to be sending them off to do this, that, and the other thing. So if you do a thing like that, and this goes for anybody in any kind of command situation at all, listening or here with us, if you're going to send out small groups of people, make sure you know where they are and make sure they know where they are, because map reading is a skill. And it's an art, and the map for EMR isn't super difficult to follow. But if you can't get at least an idea of where you're at, you're going to have a bad day.
Especially in the valley.
Yeah.
Especially in the valley.
Yeah.
I got lost. The first year I did it, I got lost out there.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I found my way back. But
So I never get lost at an AO. It's just I have, like, because of my ADHD, I guess I have this weird form of location identifying. I know how I got to where I was. I know how to get back, and I know the rough idea where I am. So
I have that too. Yeah.
I have an inner Magellan. I don't know where I'm going, but I ultimately end up at the right place.
Right. But before you, I do want to hear what you have to say. I'm sorry, but before we go to that, I wanted to stress that this is the kind of situation where we're going to talk about it in about a month or so. Proper radio etiquette is key. Now, every single person on that field has to have a radio. It's non-negotiable. You have to have some kind of FRS, GMRS radio on you. If anything, just so you can say, I'm lost, help. This is where I think I am. This is what I see around me, and somebody's going to be able to find you. It's not for you to get on the horn and find out where your buddies are And hey, where do we park the car? I got to go get my other Franken gun. Any of that nonsense. It's I'm in trouble. I'm not dead. I need someone to find me because I'm lost. I twisted my ankle. All kinds of nonsense stuff that is going to happen. And just make sure people know where you are. And, like I said, just try not to get lost. Stick with your team. But if you do get separated, this is how you can find them. Now, if you've got a good Magellan, at least get yourself back to staging and we can figure it out from there.
Mhm.
But if you're deep in those woods or down the valley and you're just, I'm screwed, I don't know what to do,
Do
Definitely
not
not.
shoot a flare up.
Yeah, right.
know.
what's the camping, hiking? Don't try and find your way out. Stay where you are. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I guess it's because I just don't have that issue. I don't think it's too much of a problem, except for the people that there was one time where guys from SRT from MK Airsoft came, and Gabe took his team all the way through the valley, through the swamp area, and up the other side. And I was like, and when he came out of the woods, and I was like, I looked at him and I just went, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh," and I just went, "Pop, pop, pop. All right, what are you doing?"
That's awesome. I mean, I love when people trailblaze, and it's great if you have an idea of where you're going. If
He
you're
did.
if you're just walking to walk, you're going the wrong way. It's inevitable,
The important thing is have fun. I mean, this
Oh, yeah.
this event is the perfect event to network, hang out with people, go through, do something. I mean, at this event, I try to meet at least 5 or 6 new people that I haven't met before, shake hands, do the stuff that's there, to just have a good time, right? That's like the key factor that's there. So, and then also there's the good fun, the fun competition of who's going to win this year. How many COs are we going to get?
Yeah.
Right? How many, what's going to be our end game when it comes down to the stuff that's here?
I think that's also the glory. This isn't, because I know Stonebreaker, we were talking about before we went live. This isn't a points-based game. Like, you're not going to rack up points by getting these kills and
or
capture
holding
this.
points.
Right, or holding. It's capture. We get collections of the stamps that are on the field, and then at the end of the day, somebody counts up the stamps and determines, okay, this team had the most unique stamps. You win. That's just it. It's that much fun. Okay, you pardon me, you found all the stuff. Cool. Let's go give away some stuff. Like that's really the whole point. Let's okay. We had a great time in this heat, wind, rain, whatever came happened. I don't want to say because it'll happen.
It's been different each year.
Yeah, right. It's like, this has happened. Now let's go do this other thing, and let's go hang out with everybody and just have continue having the good time that we've been having all day long. No butt hurt. No, we beat you. Yeah, so what?
At the end, to go on further with what Joker's saying, like, this is a great event. It has a lot of new people to it, a lot of new people to the sport that haven't experienced it to this level. And there are many, many different people who come from many different backgrounds that either run an organization. Wait, hold on.
Both of us.
Both of us.
Both of you. One of the distributors is going. One of the sponsors runs their own event. You're gonna get exposed to a lot of it. A lot of guys that might be on a different faction may be your teammate. So, as the saying goes, don't be a dick. If the other thing to go on the safety thing, if somebody's hurt and it's visible, and you're on the other team, don't shoot them. Go help them for fun. Just put your death rag on and help the poor bastard.
Yeah.
And get them out of the way so that your team doesn't light them up, and then you can get them to safety or help them. I've gone into a valley. Joker, your daughter, I think it might have been. No, it's someone else's. No, it might have been your daughter that twisted their ankle a couple years ago. Did your daughter come, or was it someone else's daughter? One of the I can't remember.
It wasn't my daughter.
Are you talking about the VIP mission at the end of the day?
It was like 2 years ago. Someone else's.
No,
team.
that was somebody else's. That was those were Heat Cats. Where a lot of them were Heat Cats.
Okay.
But somebody got hurt, and I put as a CO, it was my first year as a CO, I put my death rag on. I said, someone's got to get her out of there.
Yeah.
And just went and grabbed her.
Yeah, that was somebody else's kid that fell down. It was in the ravine.
Yes.
That's why we closed off that one area. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because that was so let's talk about that for a little bit, guys. For me, 75 degrees is perfect running weather, right? It's because I live down here where it's 90 degrees and we're running and playing airsoft. So when it comes down to these things, wear stuff that is going to be breathable, hydrate. If you're not peeing clear by the time you start the game, you need to hydrate more. No, Red Bull and Mountain Dew is not hydration, right? Although it can help a
Or
little
pre-workout, as I've heard from some.
Yeah, don't do pre-workout and do it. I mean, hydrate up, be ready, and then wear stuff that's very breathable. There was people wearing neoprene 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We had 17 heat cats, I think, within the first 30 minutes, and most of them were on tan. It was so bad, I put my rifle up and was only running around with a knife.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the night I also got a whole bunch of knife kills, but that was beside the point.
Yeah, but that's really the biggest thing. Like and kind of go back to what Doc was saying, all the people you're going to meet, not only are you going to meet all these different people, you're going to meet people who play differently than you.
Mm-hmm.
And like me, for example, my bread and butter is very slow moving airsoft. I do mainly Vietnam reenacting airsoft. So small units, old, bulky, heavy gear with big steel helmets, and we move slow. It's not a run and gun type of game, So you're going to meet people out there who play completely different from you. So where was I going with this? So this is a type of event where you're going to get players from all facets of the airsoft sport, and some are going to be the running gunners, some are going to be the super milsim decked out head to toe in multicam, no offense.
Multi-clam.
My hand on that one.
Right, but exactly, like, I mean, literally helmet to boots is just multicam.
You look good. What can I say?
And it looks absolutely cool. Sure, absolutely. Until it gets dirty, and then the invisibility wears off. But you're going to get guys, and then the ones I like to call the moto softers with the Fox motocross shirts and and like skinny jeans and cleats. Like,
the cleats, the soccer cleats.
But
that dude. Oh God.
The guys who have the HPA tapped pistols. Like,
yep.
You know what? Do you? I'm not going to knock it, but damn, I hate you.
Look, one of the key things, guys, make sure you're wearing adequate foot protection, right? Foot gear, not foot protection, foot gear. This place there's all sorts of places to twist your ankle, right? I rarely wear boots when I play, and I wear boots when I go to EMR, so that should tell you something.
Even I wear boots, and I'm just going to be standing around all day long.
So
boots
are good. Like I said, for the event, when you think about it, even if it's a little cold in the morning, right? When you start moving, you start running, especially if you're going to be on tan, we're going to be constantly moving. We don't stop. Wear something that's going to breathe, something that's going to wick away the sweat and everything else like that to keep you cool. Because the last thing you want is to take that ambulance ride, because first off, Timmy gets pissed, right? That one guy was threatening to give people silver bullets, so you don't want that either, But just think about where you're going to be going, bring a reliable replica out there to play with and have a good time. Make sure you bring plenty of ammo and everything else with you. And then, just go with there with the right mindset, call your hits, and just have fun.
And that is the mindset. Have fun. It's not about, I mean, everybody wants to win. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you guys are looking to win, of course you are, because that's part of the motivation to stay out there and play is, hey, we're winning. Let's let's keep this going. Or, oh shoot, we're down. We only got 2 stamps. It means we got at least 2 more we got to find. Let's push. As opposed to, oh well, we got 5 stamps because we got a CO too. Okay, well, where's their motivation? You're having a good time. There's your motivation. Keep out there having
You
a
get
good
to
time.
pew for 3 days.
Yeah, right.
3 days. For
One of the
$60.
One of the things I will say, Ian, is I really hope that this year that that when it comes to the CO kills, that if a CO sees a group running up to them, that they just don't pull their dead rec out and walk away as their group's giving up there. Even though it might be close to the time to walk out, because COs are the only ones with a bleed out.
Right.
So they have a 5-minute bleed out. That's it. Everybody else, there are no tourniquets. There are no medic rules. You get up, you go to your respawn, you come right back. If
Know where your flag is.
Yeah. If you're
Know
playing
where
right, you're not that far away from your flag at all times.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, it's just the reality that boils down to is I hope the COs stick around so that the stamps are being able to be taken. So we have a different form of, well, who won?
So,
because last year we had to break it down by how many cards were full, because there was a tie across the board. So it came down to how many full cards there were.
So here's the question. Let's say, and this really pertains mostly to you, Joker. Because when you're a sample collector for Marxists, right?
Yeah.
There are 7 available stamps, individual stamps you could get. There are 4 sample stamps and 3 competing COs, right? What if somebody brings me a card with 8 unique stamps? They fragged their CO. Do I give it to them?
I fragged my CO for it.
I'm not saying go ahead and do it. Do it. But it hasn't happened yet that I've seen. So
no, I turned in the stamp before, and it was always said that we always assume you guys have your own sample. I was like, "Aw, that's not fun." Because
I'm saying if you want to frag that guy in the back, I'm not gonna stop you. So saying,
hey boss, what? Pow, give me your stamp. It's like I said, this game is a lot of fun. I mean, I love the challenges that we have with Bad Blood. I love the after the battle's over, when we're up in the Wolf's Den or Wolf's Lair, and we're sitting there talking about the feedback from the event and the stuff that went down and the great interactions that happens. That's why I come up to Bad Blood every single year, and that's why for $60, everybody that's in chat right now should be buying their ticket. Everybody that might see this in the future should just go to evic.com or evic, depending on how you say it, and go to the evic.com, look up Bad Blood, get your ticket. Marxist is a cool kids club. Deus Ex is, Loserville.
Multi-glam.
Multi-glam.
Good.
Gucci Cam.
Yeah.
And come out and have a good time, right? Like I said, the raffle is amazing with what it is. How much stuff gets raffled off? I mean, you guys had 4 vendors last year as well?
2. There should only be.
There was more than 2 vendors last year. There was Amped. There was
Amped didn't make it because they had a Milsim West game.
Okay, well there was Jackal Tactical, and then there was the guy that had the 3D printed stuff. Then you had another booth there for paintball and airsoft gear.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say there's another booth that was across the way as well. Maybe that was just the charity.
Maybe.
So
we have 2 confirmed vendors for this year. We have Amped and Jackal Tactical.
Oh yeah. I'm glad Amped's coming out.
If there's any more, I'm not sure yet. That's a question I need to confirm with Evic, I suppose. But we're actually going to have some of the vendors on the stream in 2 streams and 4. So in a month, we're going to have the vendors on to talk about their offerings and what they bring to the day.
Man, it would be great to get On the Go Surplus out there too. Oh, you
Where-
don't have proper. They're the ones that do all the gear for like Third Coast and everything else.
Oh, okay.
They're a surplus store that they have their trailer on. Mark and Stephanie are great. But it's so perfect because if somebody rolls up with the wrong color thing, it's like On the Go is right there.
Yeah.
If that's the vendor you've had at your events, right, Joker? I would vouch for that. That's helped a couple of my buddies out with some of the gear issues.
Especially considering that sometimes we are sticklers when it comes down to it. Like, the guy that asked me, "Hey, are you allowing multicam Tropic?" And I said, no multicam Tropic. And funny thing was his Facebook profile and everything else. And then he shows up in multicam Tropic, and they send him over to me, and I said, "Yeah, what's your name again?" And he said his name, and I was like, "You mean the guy that I specifically said no to? Not once, not twice, but 3 times?"
Mm.
And no, it's not Brad either. Beaver. It wasn't Beaver, but it was somebody else that happened that. Yeah, and then they just go inside, they just get what they need, and they're good to go.
It's not that expensive.
No, their quality's good. They also make custom patches.
Oh, very nice. And
Yeah.
and being that they're surplus, they're not necessarily going to have the same brand new modern offerings that Jackal and Amped are going to have. So
Mm-mm.
that could be really, really useful.
They only bring they'll have some set. They have a selection of iPro there. They have
You can never have too much of that.
yeah, especially with what happened over the weekend. So, geez, one of the cool things they have that I wish I had it here. Let me go find it. It's a medic card that's Velcro, so it goes right on your arm. Let me just
As
find.
opposed to the tourniquet system. Go ahead.
No. It's a medic card, so emergency contact information.
Oh, okay. All right.
I just got to find my shirt from last.
Sure. All right. So Doc, you kind of outlined what you want your guys to do.
Mhm.
How do you see historically, since you've been taking over Deus Ex, how do you think you guys are going to fare this year?
We're always in the fight. We've been the bridesmaid twice, never the bride. We haven't won yet. We've been second place 2 years in a row since I've been the CO. I think we're up for a fight. We're good.
No, Dusex won.
Not cocky, but we're confident.
Hey, look, Dusex won one year.
We,
Oh,
yeah,
they've
Won
won.
3 years ago,
They've won in the past, but just not under you. That's all.
yeah.
So you're the weak link.
Yeah, I guess I am.
So here's the medic card.
Okay.
So it's got the name, telephone number, which I'm going to cover up here a little bit.
Yeah.
The contact information, everything else. It has all the information right here, and it's Velcro, so it can sit right there on your arm. This is a great little patch that I now have 4 of, because for some reason you know what? I bet you anything, if I actually search behind my desk right now, I'm going to find my other ones that are missing.
Sure.
So that's they make all sorts of cool little cool patches and everything else. So if they can make it,
great.
it would be awesome, because they do bring. There is no excuse at that point, right? Because oh look, you're showing up on Deuce X with a black shirt. They have a multicam shirt right there.
Yeah. You bring up a good point with the contact information, medical information, stuff like that. And the last couple of years it's been pretty good. We've been policing it well, and Timmy handles it really well. If you're not an actual medical emergency technician of any shape, form, or whatever, and somebody gets hurt, don't try and help them. Call for help. Don't be that guy. Back up, give space. And just we'll call in the professionals to actually deal with it. Now, if you are a licensed EMT first responder, I strongly urge you to make yourself known to EMR staff, Timmy especially, prior to the event, and he'll let you know if he's going to have any need for somebody. We have EMTs on site because people are gonna go down. It happens. But trained professionals out in the field are an asset as long as you're not getting in the way. So if you are an EMT, make yourself known to Timmy and myself prior to the event. And I know it's really cool. Everybody has, the first aid kits on their gear and stuff like that. If you've got the Red Cross patch and you're not an EMT, take it off. Just for this, take it off, because we don't want anybody getting the wrong idea. My buddy went down. Hey, that guy's got an EMT patch. He can help. No, he can't. No, we can't. We don't know who he is. No, so.
And if somebody is being tended to, get out of the damn way.
Yeah.
Make room for the people that have to come through. There's usually an ATV that'll fly through to the spot to help somebody out. Just get out of the way. Everyone likes to crowd around for some damn reason. There's a game to play. Just move the pile, move away from them. Let them attend to someone. Keep playing. Unless real world was called and we're stopping the game.
And that's also a good point. Unless somebody, fell out of a tree and their leg is, up near their ear, don't get on the radio, start screaming ceasefire. That's not your job. Your job is to relay the information through your chain of command, which is, loose for bad blood. This isn't a milsim. You're not answering yes sir, no sir to your COs. It's there just to keep order. So relay the information to your CO, who will then relay it to me and to Moondog and to Phil, and we will determine, is this a field-wide ceasefire? Is this let's avoid this area until the person can be tended to? Because if somebody gets hurt, say in the middle of the castle, right? Do we call it a ceasefire, and then the people who are out in the swamp, they need to just stay there and stop what they're doing? No, you don't have to, because it doesn't affect you. If the castle's on fire, that's different. But if somebody twisted their ankle over in the pines, we don't need to call a ceasefire in Skull Tower. We don't need to do that. So don't get on the radio screaming ceasefire, because nobody knows where the order came from. Nobody knows it's legitimate. And you're not even telling me where this supposed ceasefire needs to be enacted. So relay the coordinates. It's simple ABC 1, 2, 3 map. It's not grid coordinates and GPS and all that, military stuff. It's line it up. A1. Okay, cool. I know where that is. And we'll handle it from there. Thank you for calling it in. Stabilize the person, back away, and we'll get the professionals out there,
So you mean to tell me Ian, that the first aid patch I got in the Boy Scouts back in the 3rd grade doesn't apply to, an airsoft game, and I should just stay put? That's what you're saying?
Unless you're an Eagle Scout, no. No, absolutely not. No. So
I love that one guy. He goes, I got my first aid badge. I can help. Bro, relax.
Easy, Tiger. We got this.
Yeah. Don't call like a ceasefire or a blind man for somebody who slid into a wall and cut their shin.
Yeah.
And they're bleeding and need to walk off the field. If a person could get up and walk under their own power, we don't really need to stop the game for that. I mean, we could definitely call somebody over, somebody twist an ankle or whatever, but the only time we really stop a game is like what happened 2 years ago, where we had 17 people drop in this manner of 5 minutes.
We needed to reevaluate our entire situation with something like that. That's different. or guys, wearing, neoprene balaclavas and wondering why they don't feel good.
Why do I feel so hot? I don't know.
Water. Throw a little bit of salt in it. I'm not gonna be an advertisement for Gatorade or Powerade or my new favorite, the freaking 7-Eleven stuff. But that's just me. That is not adequate. It's helpful.
What's that stuff that people are doing for anti-hangover? What they add to the water? What the hell is that powder?
The banana bags.
No, it's not banana bags. No, it's not banana bags. There's literally like a powder you can put in there. I forget the name of it. I don't know why.
For my Vietnam kit, I usually have one canteen of water, 1 canteen of water with Pedialyte.
I always do a 50-50 mix of like if I'm wearing my hydro pack, it's half water, half Powerade.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
it's not.
I use little. I think it's. Are they Noon or Nun tablets? I don't know how they're spelled. It's Nuun. They're
Okay.
They come in different forms. I use hydration tablets. I throw them into my Camelback. I don't go onto any field at any event without one. I'm always drinking fluids at all times. I recommend that.
The key is water, water, water.
Mhm.
Like I just said, like when I fill my hydration, and things I even walk out there with a hydration backpack, and I'm just walking the field, filled with water, and I'll put like a salt packet in it that I took from the hotel kitchen. Just that's it. Shake it up. You got a little bit of salt, a little bit of electrolytes in you, and you're
Liquid IV. That's what I was thinking of. Thanks, Brad.
not familiar with it.
It's literally it's a little packet about this. You just dump it in water, and it's to help with electrolytes and everything else, so you don't get hungover.
Eat a
when you
couple
drink alcohol.
bananas.
That too. I mean, but look, airsofters are idiots, right? I say
yeah.
it. I'm an airsofter. I'm an idiot. I mean, I got 12 stitches to prove it, right? We all do stupid things at times. So a lot of people don't like. Let's see. Oh man, there's 5 different comments I can say right now. Some guys are uncomfortable eating a banana. Yeah, Brad, we've already been saying start hydrating before the event. You should really start a while before the event, like the week before, just start drinking.
Yep.
Like I said, I benefit because that's not hot weather for me. When it gets into the 90s is when I start having issues, but I'm still hydrating and I'm still drinking the entire time I'm out on the field to make sure. I also bring an emergency sugar source. And I don't mean bad sugar. Like I usually carry around with me 5 or 6 of those squeezable applesauce packs.
Oh yeah, those are awesome. Yeah,
because it's fast
Mhm.
sugar. It hits your system pretty quick and can help out with some of the things that you're going through, running around with low blood sugar until you can get off the field to get yourself a proper meal. That doesn't mean like eat 8 of them and continue to play. If you get to that point, you're like, let me eat something real quick and then get off the field.
You guys mind if I play my favorite clip real fast?
Go
Sure,
for
go
it.
right ahead.
Why are you dehydrated? Because not a sir. I'll tell you why. Because you're not filtering the goddamn sir.
You're drinking enough goddamn water.
But yeah, like I'm obviously not as active as you guys during the game, so I'll usually have like a bag of peanuts in my pocket, maybe some gummy bears, something like that. Just something just pop it in and just keep moving. But I also have the luxury I can leave the field and get something to eat or drink if I really need it. You guys don't, so you got to bring everything with you. So you need to plan accordingly.
I'll give credit.
Everybody's got those great plate carriers and backpacks that hang down to their backs of their knees. Put stuff in them.
So I'll give one guy credit last year. All of a sudden he goes, I'm hungry. I need lunch. I was like, what? Does that mean you're walking off the field? He goes, no. And all of a sudden he reaches back behind his pack and all of a sudden whips out a foot-long sub.
Yes.
And as he's running, he's like modging on the sub and shooting one-handed. I was like, rock on, homie. Bringing beef jerky helps too. Bringing a bag of beef jerky helps. I mean,
Beef jerky's always clutch.
Yeah. I mean, I go to Buc-ee's before coming up, so I usually got a pound or so at Buc-ee's. Just
I mean, granted, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat jerky, but jerky is good because you get that quick protein hit, you get that quick salt hit, and they're sugared. You get a little sugar hit out of that. Get the teriyaki or the barbecue or whatever. You're good to go. Yeah, jerky's where it's at.
And here's another important factor too, guys. If you're going to be partying Friday night, if you're drinking alcohol, drink some water, get some liquid IV. Balance.
I feel bad that I need to say this, but I need to say this. Know when to quit Friday night. Because if you show up to Chrono or try and get on that field and you look even slightest bit, you don't know where you are. It's not gonna be a
Like
good day for
like-
you.
like the one black shirt CO that was like,
Yeah, you know,
"You all
don't.
right, bro? You okay?
Yeah, like, you know,
we
if-
haven't started yet."
Yeah,
All
if,
right.
if you see 3 guys out there and there's only one person in chrono with you, maybe it's not your day.
I think I started a thing with Brad Wallace. Everybody now needs to have a foot long sub. Could you imagine a charge with a whole bunch of people just sudden whipping out with foot longs and being like, "Charge!"
I'd vomit.
Oh my
I
god!
wouldn't be able to eat food while I'm playing. I can't do that.
But you know, I
Oh my God, I
think
just-
I would have to give points for a hoagie melee kill. I think I
I'm,
would.
I'm totally buying something
Counts.
before I get onto the
Counts
field.
hits.
It's gonna be just for the. It's just gonna be
A
just for the gram.
hoagie melee kill.
Look,
Baguette kill.
There
Why
you
not?
good.
Slap somebody with a baguette.
Charge! Is that a baguette?
What, you don't
Is
have
it a
one?
French variety? Ha ha!
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see fun.
Big-
I want to see safe fun. That's what I want. I want people to know what they're up against and plan accordingly and like say, fuck it. This is a game. I'm not going to be stupid. I'm an airsofter, so I'm an idiot, but I'm not going to be stupid. I'm going to go have fun. And I'm going to make sure I don't die in the process or get carted off by an ambulance because you're going to turn your $60 weekend quickly into a $4,000 weekend.
Yeah, nobody wants that $600 ambulance ride. Nobody wants that. It's too much. That's too expensive.
oh
Inflation.
God. I'll tell you guys offline with what happened at one of the recent games with somebody at that had to take a ride to the hospital and what happened.
Well, I mean, it happened just a couple years ago. What did we have? Three ambulance calls in one day, maybe more.
We had 17 people go down within the first.
Yeah, but no, there was
first
one
20
year. There was 1 year where
That was 2
we
years
had-
ago.
So I think it was three years ago.
No, it was 2.
No, I'm sure we did, but I remember 3 years ago we had a guy go down and like we actually had to give him emergency oxygen and everything, and which was great because his battle buddy actually then called us from the hospital and gave us status reports on
I
this
thought it was
kid.
2 years ago because
Hey,
that was all. That was that guy that was the same. That was all part of that same scenario that was going on. It's like each time we called in, where's this one at? The Valley again.
Yeah, no, okay, you're right. Yeah,
Valley again.
you're right. But like, yeah, that's their weekend was over, and that sucks for them. But he pulled through, and that's great, and that's what we really want to see. But we don't want to see it happen in the first place. So, like, just know that if there is an emergency, we've got you covered.
Yeah.
But don't be the emergency. Don't be that guy.
Nope. Hydrate. Where if it's it. Look, if you guys are not used to 80-degree temperatures, you don't need to wear 60 pounds worth of kit. Right? I mean, it's bad blood. We don't have that much tactical stuff out there.
Summer
Right.
uniforms, a lot of the different patterns, they come in summer and winter. Summer
What's the rule for going shirtless underneath your plate carrier? Does that matter?
as long as the plate, for somebody like you, where all your gear is going to be matching anyway, because
Mhm.
that's what Deus Ex does. Sure, go for it. I'm not going to stop you.
Okay.
I mean,
Full
it's-
deuce
but-
mode.
Nobody wants it, by
if
the
I
way.
go full deuce mode?
nobody actually wants that. But
Nobody wants
like,
to see me shirtless, okay?
yeah, it is one of the things where if you feel you need to do that, like you've only got a winter top and you're dying out there, fine, strip it off. I'm not going to fault you for that.
Right.
But if you don't have matching top gear, expect some friendly fire and don't complain to me about it. But,
So-
do what you got to do to stay healthy out there. If you need to strip off your top, you strip off your top. That's fine.
The only day where the uniform matters is Saturday.
Yeah.
So here's a pro tip. Bring a t-shirt color of your faction. For
Yes.
green shirts, bring a solid green t-shirt. For Marxists, bring a solid tan shirt. If you're Deuce Ex, it's white, right?
White shirt.
White shirt.
A white shirt.
And if you're black shirts, that's real simple, black t-shirt, right? Does bring a spare one of those, throw it in your bag, and you don't have to worry if it gets too hot outside. I mean, the only time that I really gear up is Sunday because I get freaking peppered.
Yeah, you
Thanks,
need that.
bro.
You need that padding because of your role in the zombie game. That's different.
Yeah.
See me
that's
from a
the
mile away. I'm like Casper, buddy.
Homer's glue.
Somebody who lives in Florida. I don't know how that happens, but
Doc
here it
lives in
is.
Florida?
No,
you-
I don't. I live in up. You see my. Oh, hold on. That's Syracuse. I live
You're
upstate
in
New
that
York.
state. Yeah. I mean, I'm not that. I mean, I'm pretty tan right now, so
Okay.
I mean, I can go outside and sunbathe for a little bit and make my body like my top tan. But I mean, really,
I
nobody
can't.
wants to see me see me see me shirtless out there.
If I go outside for too long, I look like this. I burn thinking about the sun.
But I'm looking forward to Bad Blood this year. I hope all of y'all are too. I hope you guys go out to Evike's page tonight, get your $60 ticket because it's going to be worth it, right? $60, 3 days of play, hell of a lot of camaraderie, and over probably 20 airsoft guns and related items that are going to be raffled off, all for a good cause. And for you people that are insatiable, I am not taking off my goddamn shirt. That was my events. Bad Blood's not my event. I'm keeping my shirt on. I'm not bringing a spare Hawaiian shirt to give to you people. But it's a great, fun event. And the field, if you haven't been there, you need to go there at least once. EMR really is a unique field. It's a good time. I always have a blast. That's why I travel 1,100 miles one way. So 2,200 miles round trip every year to go to this event. And I'm dragging Wiener along with me. So
that's going to be fun. I'm actually looking forward to seeing him stumble all over the place.
Oh, no. So I will give Wiener some massive credit. That dude is sort of like me. We might not be fast. We might not be the most agile. But we could go from one end of the field to the other end of the field all day long, nonstop. And that's it. It's just we have the stamina for it. We might not be the fastest guys out there, but that's what the young bucks are for.
Right. You'll get it done.
Now, if there's ever a time where we can use technicals at Bad Blood, I'll be in hot heaven.
Yeah.
I know.
In the bush, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna run them over.
I know. At EMR, it would never happen, and
No.
I never would want to. That was mostly a joke off of what happened, what we were doing last weekend. There's something to be said about not having to worry about the heat. You have the AC cranked. You have an entire store right behind your seat that you can go to for drinks and food and snacks or whatever.
That's too much. Yeah, we can talk about that offline.
Yeah.
So with that, my friends, we're going to call tonight to a close. I want to thank Joker and Doc for joining me in this sort of Meet the Boss. Hopefully we can get, some more leaders in the next coming weeks. Our next live stream is going to be the 17th. I don't remember the schedule, but that's the date. I don't remember what we're talking about.
That's 2 weeks from today.
Right. But I don't know what we're talking about. I don't actually have the schedule in front of me. So
I don't know what we're talking about even before we come on stream.
Exactly. All right. So with that, I want to thank everybody and say we will see you in 2 weeks.
See you later.